Well, we are super excited to have you on with us today because we always love it when we hear about these buzz films at the film festivals that kind of take over, and we start thinking this sounds really cool. You got to be so excited about this one. It was I guess you called it the little indie film that could, right?
Yeah, the little film that could, the little indie that could.
Yeah, because it was a really limited crew and very kind of you were just out there in the wild, really, right?
Yeah, it was a really small group of us. We were all working like multiple departments. Kelsey and Ivan made a joke that I was like head of hair and makeup, head of continuity, script supervisor, because like every time we were shooting a scene over multiple days, I'd be like, wait, was my jacket zipped up like this or was it down here? And they would be like, thank God, because otherwise I'd be like one shot, with it open and then one shot with it. So I watched the film. I only saw a couple of continuity errors, but I feel like otherwise I did a pretty good job.
Ah, that's great. Well, yeah, sometimes on these things you have to wear multiple hats, and that's not nothing that film school or even working on bigger films can prepare you for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you have a certain day, scene, or time, a certain memory that just stood out to you as like, I'm always going to remember this. This was special.
I think all the driving scenes, I think we went up to the high desert to shoot a bunch of driving shots, and I'd never seen like high desert like that where it was desert but snow. It was really beautiful. I think that's my number one memory from the whole shoot is just how beautiful it was where we were.
Yeah, that's so cool. And the of course you love the script from the beginning. What was it about it that just pulled you in? Because I mean there is sort of classic tale in there, but also there's something brand new and fresh about it too, right?
Yeah, I don't think I was thinking as much about the Red Riding Hood element just because my character, that's not my job as an actor to sort of like, I was really looking at my character's experience and I felt a lot of compassion for her and I wanted to show people, what it actually looks like when you are put in a position where you are traumatized and you are victimized and it's not this sensationalized, like pretty put it in a bow, crying, breaking down. Like there's a lot of very complicated things that happen. You shut down, you're in shock, you're lying to yourself about in denial about what even happened to you. And then there's the anger and the emotion and it's just it's this whole roller coaster of emotions. And I wanted to, draw on my own experience to try and make it as real as I could for this character going through trauma herself.
Yeah. What was that first movie that you saw there, or maybe as a TV show that you kind of looked at the screen and thought, see, now that's what I want to do?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. Um, I don't know. I always loved like watching Friends.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would still love to do something like Friends.
Yeah, oh, that's so cool. Well, but people look up to what you do. They think that's so cool. Well, this is the greatest job in the world, and sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But what kind of advice do you give to people that want to follow in your footsteps and do what you do?
I mean, I think you and I both know it's not. There's caveats, just like anything. I think my biggest advice is have a really fulfilling, joyous life and treat this as a hobby of sorts. That's like a passion that you expect nothing from. I think that's really the only way to keep your sanity because it is such an unstable industry. It is such an unstable job and a career that there's so much out of your control that you can't predict. You don't have any say over. And I've seen people who have reached, you know, incredible levels of success. But this industry is so fickle and it's just a moment at the end of the day. And if you don't have a rich, fulfilling life that you're proud of, that's completely in your control, that isn't up to someone else, it will be difficult to navigate and it will take the joy out of it. So I think my biggest piece of advice, and I think I wish people had told me this when I was younger, is you need to figure out what makes you happy and create a life that's full of those things so that you don't lose joy for this because any kind of creative job can be, when you're trying to monetize a creative passion, like that's tough. That's a tough gig. It's not straightforward. It's not a linear path to success. And I think like I said, even if you think having all the success in the world is going to make you happy, I've seen it time and time again, it just doesn't. So you need to be really solid in yourself and have a rich, fulfilling life that makes you happy. And then this can just happen in the background.
Yeah, well said. My co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys, and he caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame, and we're so proud of him. And we were talking about this last night. Everyone has a Hail Mary moment, moment in your life or career where you just go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for you?
I don't know if I've had my Hail Mary yet. I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like my whole life has been a Hail Mary. Like I've been living in the US for 11 years. I think I'm just someone that goes for it. I started a business. That was another Hail Mary. Um, yeah, I think my life is just built on a million Hail Marys, but I don't think I've had my like Hail Mary, my Hollywood Hail Mary yet, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe it's
we got to talk.
coming, we'll see.
Yeah, it's coming. Well, we got to talk to you about your business too. That skincare line looks so fantastic. It looks like you're doing so good with it.
Well, it's a sunscreen line,
Yes.
important distinction. But yeah, my sister and I built that together. We launched it last year in January, and it's starting your own business is a whole other massive
Hmm.
undertaking in itself, but it's been truly one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. And we're almost 2 years old. We'll be two in January, and you can really feel like the brand recognition is building. And, it's so much work that any little piece you get or any little momentum that builds is just so rewarding and worth it. And having a business is just like one big exercise in delayed gratification. I think is what I've learned, but it's so rewarding and I'm very passionate about it. I'm just creative. I'm a creative. I love creating things. I think I have an entrepreneurial spirit. And I think, all the things with film that are out of my control, this is an outlet for those things. That's kind of like, as you would know in Hollywood, like, and anyone that's kind of anywhere near the industry or adjacent to it would know your hard work does not, you don't get back what you put in all the time. A lot of the time it is a lot of hard work for a lot of hard no's and a door being slammed in your face. Whereas having a business is an outlet for me that if I put in X amount of work, I'm getting X amount back. And that feels really good to have something that I can really focus on that is growing, that is giving me that fulfillment.
Yeah. Well, we talk about that on the show, that success mindset that you have to have. And we have, great sponsors like Red Pill and Keo that believe in us. But what is that? What is that you keep in mind that keeps you on the right path, even when things are tough? Because like we talked about, they are tough sometimes.
I think I just look at the bigger picture. I think I'm someone that thinks like 5 years ahead. And I'm like, in 5 years, I'm not worried. I'm worried about 6 months. I'm worried about 12 months. I'm worried about how do I get there so I can get there. I think my parents were super, super hardworking as well. And I think they just, bred into us, the value of hard work and how good it feels to accomplish things by yourself. So I don't know if it's God-given. I don't know if it's my parents. Who knows? We'll never know. But I really enjoy working hard. I really enjoy, making the impossible possible and making my dreams come true. And I think because I have, been an actor since I was a child and a model, and I've just gone through multiple careers where rejection is just all you get. And I think that's given me like really thick skin and it's made me like kind of, I don't want to say brave, but with my sister, she hasn't faced as much. She was an elite athlete. She played basketball for Australia when she was a teenager. So she was also used to like, achieving insane things at a young age. And but again, like with basketball, if you work this hard, you get this much out of it. Whereas for me, I've always had some kind of, I don't want to say struggle, but it just teaches you to just keep going and be persistent. And I think I have thick skin now because of it. So, so many different things in my life have given me that.
Yeah. Well, and then on top of that, and you see it as well, like that we have that big pressure of all the social media, and you've got a lot of eyes on you. So you have to always consider that as well, right?
Yeah, that's like a whole other thing now. It's crazy. It's like this whole other job. I feel like I have three jobs.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's part of it. Well, but back to the acting. I mean, that's like something like this is, probably renews your spirit for something like that. And I think people, will probably also get something out of this besides, oh, that was a cool movie. What are you hoping they'll walk away and think about and talk about after this?
I think I really hope people take away the message of trauma doesn't look it looks different for everyone. And we're we're all capable of being put in a position where we're victimized, and not in like a intense kind of heavy way, but just it's never, it's not never. Sometimes it's the wolf, but it's sometimes it's also, without spoiling anything, like the person at home who's meant to look after you. Sometimes it's the friend, sometimes it's, the nice stranger with a smile on their face that is going to hurt you. And I think I want people to walk away from that being a little bit more aware and like trusting when people come forward and say these things have happened to them and believing them. And just understanding that trauma doesn't look the same for everyone, and to just have grace for everyone in life. Everyone's
Yeah,
going through something.
beautifully said. And then last thing, after this, I can't wait to see what you got next for us. What are we going to see in?
Honestly, the industry is in a really weird place right now. I wish I could be like, oh, I've got this, but it's just been weird. It's been weird since the strikes. Um, I'm focusing right now on my business, and I'm still, you know, reading for things, and we'll see what happens. It's TBD, but it's just a weird time right now. I'm not putting any pressure on it.
Yeah, perfect. Well, thank you so much for your time. The great answers. I really appreciate your passion for everything, and looking forward to talking to you again very, very soon.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you too. Bye bye.